Hi and welcome to episode number 14 of this latest Spire tutorial series. In this episode, we are going to make the enemies attack on their turn. Let's go. The enemy attack will be a game action. Therefore, let's create one in the game actions folder. We call it Attack Hero GA. In Slay the Spire, only the enemies really attack. Our hero will use cards to do all kinds of attacks and spells, so that's why we don't need a general attack game action, but only a specific one for the enemies. If your game is different though, you can make a general one. The attack hero game action has of course to inherit from game action. The constructor will just take the attacker. We don't need a target here, because the target will always be the same, our hero. Next, we go to the enemy system, and here in the enemy turn performer we can replace our temporary implementation with a new one. We want to cycle through all enemies and create an attack hero game action for each enemy we have. We then also add it to the action system as reaction. Next, we will also need a performer for our new game action. I think a good place would be here in the enemy system as well, so let's create it here. We have to attach and detach the performer as always. And inside the performer, we first take the attacker view. We then animate the attack, and here you can get creative to do whatever you want. You can trigger animations here and all kind of fancy stuff. For this tutorial, we just move the enemy view a bit forward, wait until it's moved, and then we move it back. We only wait here in one direction as we don't really want to block the rest of the code while we are moving back. We then of course want to deal damage to the hero. We could do this directly here, but as you can imagine, this will not be the only time that we want to deal damage. And therefore, we want unified behavior for this. So how do we do this? With another game action of course. Let's create a deal damage game action. The deal damage game action will have a damage amount and also a list of targets. We want to be flexible for later, so we make it a list and not only a single target. Now in the enemy system we can use this game action in the enemy turn performer. We create it with the damage amount, which is the attacker's attack value, and with the list of targets. We can create a new list here and just add the hero. Now in Unity you can test it, and you will see that on the enemy's turn the enemies attack. But they do no damage at the moment, because the deal damage game action has no performer. Let's create one. For this we will create a new system, the damage system. I know that we are creating a lot of systems, but I prefer it this way so that every system has its own small function and we don't have all-in-one systems that do everything. This way we always know where to find our performers, and if for example the damage behavior gets a bit more complex in the future, with many calculations, it will be way cleaner to have a dedicated system just for the damage. Also make sure that you add the damage system to the scene. In the damage system, we will have a reference to a damage VFX prefab. We then need the performer. The performer will be quite simple. It will loop through each target and deal damage to it. To deal damage to our combatant views, we need to add a function in the combatant view script. Here, in the combatant view script, we add the damage function. It will just reduce the current health and will also make sure that it will not fall under 0. We then shake the view a bit to give it a better feel, and we also update the health text. Back in the damage system, we now can use this method for each target. After this, we will instantiate some VFX at the target's position and wait for a bit. We want a fixed wait time here so that we can better control the flow of the enemy turn. And we also manage the VFX in the damage system so that doing damage will always have the same effect and we don't have to attach own VFX to each enemy or attack. Also, we have to attach and detach the performer as always. For the VFX, we can use the CartoonFX library from the asset store. We can import it into the project and can then find a good damage hit effect. We use this one here and drag it into the damage system reference field. Now we can hit play and test our new system. You can now see that when the enemy attacks, the hero's health is reduced, and that the hero shakes a bit. The VFX is also instantiated. Great. The damage reduces the health, but nothing happens when the health reaches 0. In the next video, we will implement the minion death. If the video helped you, I would really appreciate a sub and a like. It helps me a lot. Thank you for watching and see you next time.